What if I told you the idea of human races as biological categories is basically a myth? I know, that's a big statement, especially when so much of society is built around these categories. But let's break it down using science, not assumptions. Traditionally, people have tried to sort humans into races based on visible traits like skin color, hair type, or facial features. But here's the thing. When biologists talk about a race, they mean something a lot more specific. A group that's not just different on the outside, but actually forms a separate evolutionary branch with little mixing in their gene pool. Think different breeds of dogs or subspecies in animals. But humans? We don't fit that model. Sure, our ancestors spread out across the globe, adapting to different environments, but all the while people kept moving, meeting, and having children. Gene flow, basically, the sharing of genetic material, has been happening non-stop. Let's look at the numbers. Genetic studies show that about 94% of human genetic differences actually happen within so-called racial groups, not between them. Only about 6% is what separates these groups. In fact, there's more diversity within any given population, say within people in Africa or Europe, than between the continents themselves. There aren't sharp boundaries. Instead, our traits and genes flow gradually across regions. So, is there a gene for race? Nope. No single gene or set of genes neatly divides us into the familiar categories you see on forms or in history books. Skin color, hair texture, and other features are inherited independently and don't cluster into tidy boxes. What does this mean for the word race? Among scientists, there's never even been a universal definition for race in humans. Modern genetics and evolutionary biology agree. Race is a social construct, not a biological reality. Now, don't get me wrong, racial categories have real consequences. Social inequalities and stereotypes often get tied to these ideas. But those differences are the result of history, politics, and culture, not biology. So when someone asks what races exist, my answer is, as biological categories, they don't. We're one human species with differences that are real, but not rigid or clear-cut. The lines are drawn by society, not by our DNA. If you want clear, science-based answers to complex questions, check out laproof.com. And hey, if you're a fan of Nopal and Pinel, email info@laproof.com for a 25% discount. Let's challenge old ideas together.